So I will quickly show you how you can create the mesh for the grid refinement. Last Wednesday we had some the meshing interface issues and you know. So now I have decided to record this video for you so you can quickly check this video and create the mesh, at least 5 sets of mesh for the grid refinement so you can use this in our next class. So this is the CAD model we have. We already have done the name selections. So we'll click on mesh, and if we click on generate, then we'll see how it look like. Um, so let's say when we just clicked on generate, then it gives us this kind of mesh. You can see here, if we look at the statistics, we have around 1200 elements and 2007 nodes. So as you said, this number is not actually at this mesh type, and the number is not good. So what we will do, we will change it to tetrahedral elements, considering have a smooth curvature here and here. So what we will do, we will click on mesh, insert, and method. Then you need to select the geometry. So you can simply click here and select the geometry like this. Sorry, and then click on apply. From the method, you can click, you can see different methods here. We'll say tetrahedron, and as I said, best conforming, we'll discuss it later on. And if we click on generate now, and then we'll see how it looks like. So let's go back to the mesh, and you see this is how the mesh looks like. So we can see now it's smooth, the connections between the nodes, and but what you can see, we have very finer mesh here and here, but what you need to do is we need to create a bit more uniform and refined mesh. So the one thing can be done, I said last time that you can click on the sizing from here, play with the element size and the maximum size, and then you can refine this. So the aim, what I would say is you you can think about how you can minimize the gap between the maximum and the minimum size. So here the maximum size is 6.8 into the power 2, so we can write it as like 0.068. We can put some random number, so it will look like this. So instead of that, let's put it as 5 or maybe 4.04, and we'll keep this number as it is and see. Let's click on generate and see how it looks like. It didn't change a lot. So if we make another 0 and we'll increase this number, maybe 0.8 or something, then you see it gives us this error because the element size cannot be the larger than this maximum size. So we need to put this number like 0, you can say 0.00, we can say it's, if you see still we put a value like this, and if we click on generate, and we'll see how it looks like. So I'm expecting a more finer mesh. You can see it looks more finer. So you can see the number is 50,000. So let's say this is your first mesh. If you say it is your first mesh, all what you can do is you can click on the mesh, insert, sizing, and then click on the surfaces, and this surface. So we have two profile, the edges. You just click on this, and instead of element size, say number of divisions. Put this number of divisions maybe 100. Go to the mesh, okay, and click on generate and see how it looks like. You can see now we have a bit more finer mesh now. But careful. Last time I showed you the inflation was not working good in this case, so we'll have them created a finer mesh here. So that's the first mesh. We can see what we'll do. We'll go to the file. If you want to save, and you can click on export mesh, and you can see the fluent input file, export, and select the mesh type and space and put the name. In that way, this is your first mesh. Put a name. That okay, this is your first mesh. That can be one thing. So what you can do, and when if you want to save the file, click on save project. Okay, give some name. Maybe what I can do is to yeah, say just test, give a file name like test, save it. So it will save the case for you. What you can do in Workbench, maybe this is your first mesh. So what you can do, you can just click here and right click and say duplicate. So it will just create a duplicate file for you. You can right click on this. You can just rename it like mesh. You can say this is mesh 1. For example, you can see the name mesh 1. And now we just create, just rename, and you can say this is mesh 2. So in that way, you can see you have, you can just duplicate these files. So what you can do in that case, we just close this mesh first. Oops. We just close that one. And now, yeah, so you have this file here. This is your, you know, duplicate mesh. Now you want to refine this duplicate mesh, so just right click on it and click on edit. So if you do that, then you will get the mesh window. Yeah, so we'll see. We're just waiting for the mesh window. That's the duplicate, the second mesh. So in that way, it could be a bit slow comparing like if you want to create 5 duplicate files here. So every time if you want to update any of this mesh, Workbench will try to update every duplicate file. So in that way, you can say it's time consuming. So it will take big time. So, but I'm showing you all the ways that you can play with. But the other option is if you export the mesh in a separate file and then save it, then later on you can read it again. So this is the second file on this site. If we still click on this, you can see it will look like this. Now you can remember we created the is sizing. So this number of division of 100. Now we'll put it 200. Okay. So we'll put it 200, click on mesh and click on generate. So what I have done previously for the first mesh it was 100. Now we just click on that again, change the number of subdivision is 200, so we can see it is now more refined mesh. And if you look at the statistics now, it's 83,000. So if you want to increase this number a bit more, put 300 and click on generate, then we will see how it looks like. Then click on mesh. Yeah, so it's still you can see it's the update here in the bottom corner, so you can see, and this number is 112,000. So you can see that the mesh is more final at this section. So this is one of our point of interest with the floor. If the if we say this is the leading edge and the alpha, this is the trailing is close to this way. So it will hit here and if we can create more fine animation in this section, that will be more better. So we can see that the vertices, the current vertices. So this is you can save as your second mesh. You can go to the file, export, same mesh, UM file, click on export, and then put a name and save it. So in that way, you can save the mesh. So that's how you can create um, the different mesh. So as I said before, if you look at this operating file, so now your second mesh in that way, now you can create another duplicate of this. So it will create another duplicate file for you. For example, this. So you can just right click here, rename it. You can say this is mesh 3 and just click this mesh, edit and refine a bit more. So this is the way you need to create 5, 6, whatever you need, this number of mesh, and then using this mesh, you need to run the simulation. So I hope it makes sense. Try to create all these files, at least 4 or 5 cases. Next week, in class, I will give you around 45 minutes time to practice and just perform the grid refinement test by yourself. Definitely, I will show you and check the materials on Canvas. And if you have any question, I will be running a consultation tomorrow. I will announce it later on. So that's all for now.